All right, we just have information coming in from Rita Tinina, who was following the DCJ interviews at the Supreme Court, and I understand that the Chief Justice, William Mutunga, has said that there are threats which have been made against him by members of the sect Mungiki. Rita Tinina, what is this about?
Well, Edith, just after the conclusion of the interviews for the Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice William Mutunga called a press conference raising several concerns. One of them, he says, on Monday, as he was conducting interviews for the Deputy Chief Justice, his office received a letter, and the letter was making threats not only to him, to several ambassadors, to other judges as well. He termed that letter as a poison pen letter. And as you mentioned there, Edith, it was from the Mungiki, and they were warning him against any unfavorable ruling against the candidature of Uhuru Kenyatta or William Ruto. And he says in that letter, we were not able to get a copy. We were just shown the envelope. In that letter, the Chief Justice says that the Mungiki threatened him and several other judges with dire consequences. And he says that has not been the only case. He says before he left for Dar es Salaam, he also pointed out to an incident at the JKIA. He said he was stopped by an immigration officer and was told that he had not been cleared by the head of public service, Francis Kimemia, to proceed on the trip to Dar es Salaam. And according to the Chief Justice, says there is no circular or any legal basis to that action by the immigration officer. He says it had to take a lot of courage and political backing for such an officer to stop him and prevent him from traveling. And so he says he's reading much more into this. A few days later after that incident at the JKI, of course, he may not got to travel, but he says the Director General of the NSIS called him and apologized for what he termed as a hiccup. But Mutunga is saying he does not take it as just a normal hiccup. He says it has never happened before. He says he has traveled widely, and so he is taking it as a political matter. He told the press conference that he had contemplated a lot before making that statement. He says he didn't want to cause any panic in the country, but he's saying the harassment, his harassment, and that of 5 judges. He mentioned that 5 judges had been attacked in the recent past in several cases, some of which included guns. He says those intimidation and threats must be resisted, and he says that's when he decided to make the matter public. But he also, in that press conference, gave a very stern statement, saying that if there is anyone out there who wants to in any way stop the judiciary from conducting its duty under the Constitution, he says they have no chance. And so the Chief Justice, he addressed the press conference under the understanding of journalists that they would not ask any further questions, so no one was given a chance to ask a question. He says he has forwarded the letter to the Inspector General of Police, and he's calling for investigations to be carried out. And at that press conference, Dr. William Mutunga, the Chief Justice, saying that anybody, any candidate, or their supporters who might think that they can bend, if I may quote him, bend the mind, the ear of the judiciary to do anything that is illegal, he says they will operate within the law. So we're just coming from that press conference.
Okay. Rita, sorry, let me just stop you there for clarification's sake. For anyone who's just joining us, Rita Tinina is on the other side of the line, and she's talking to us about a story that has just broken. Dr. William Mutunga claiming that the members of the Mungiki sect who are after him, threatening his life is what he's claiming. And Rita, just for clarification, he is, or rather you seem to be mentioning the fact that the judiciary is saying, the judiciary has stated. Does he then think that it's an attack on the judiciary and not him individually?
He says it's an attack on him as a person and also on several judges. So we were not able to ask any clarifications from the Chief Justice, but he pointed out that what he termed as cowardly acts. And he says he has seen worse and he will overcome whatever comes his way. He says that he has given so much in his tenure as Chief Justice and even before that. And if I may quote him, he says he's taking away his life to secure what he has been fighting for. Then he says that is a price he's not afraid to pay.
All right. And Rita, did he give any indication at all as to where investigations regarding this particular incident have reached?
He did not give any indication, just saying that he had forwarded the letter to the Inspector General of Police, and he also asked that the police enhance security of judges. He also pointed out that he and judges in the judiciary will be holding a meeting. He's saying he wants to assure the country that the judiciary in the coming elections will be fair in whatever matters come before it.
All right. Give me a chance to just bring in Tunya in this. I know he has a question with regard to
that. Of course, these are really damning reports with less than 2 weeks to go to the elections. But for clarification's sake again, what exactly were these threats about? What is the reason for their threatening the Chief Justice's life?
As I pointed out earlier, he pointed out to a letter that he received on Monday. He says as he was at the Supreme Court conducting interviews for the Deputy Chief Justice position, his office received what he called a poison pen letter from the Mungiki. And that letter, he says, was not just warning him, it was warning other judges and as well as ambassadors from taking any stand or ruling that might be seen to be unfavorable to the candidature of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto as the country goes into the election. So that was one of the instances. The other one, he says, when he was stopped at the JKIA, but what he termed as just an ordinary immigration officer, he says that immigration officer did not have any basis, but he told him that he could not travel because he had not been cleared by Francis Tumenia. So those are the two cases that he has pointed out.
And also for clarification, Rita, is that no investigation yet launched into this matter until a meeting by the Chief Justice and his team, right?
The Chief Justice just told us that he has forwarded the letter that he got. That threatening letter from the Mungiki, he says he has forwarded it to the Inspector General of Police. So we didn't have any chance to ask him questions. We don't know whether the Inspector General has commenced any investigations yet.
All right, many thanks, Rita, for bringing us that breaking news where the Chief Justice, Willie Mutunga, has received death threats from the Mungiki Menace group. It is?
Right. Rita Tinine is going to be bringing us a lot more of those details later with the information that she has, obviously mentioning that the Chief Justice did not allow anyone to ask him any questions after he made that statement. But we'll be bringing you a more comprehensive and detailed story much later.